You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Thursday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby. Can I ask you something? Because your car's fairly new, right?
Yeah.
Do you have an auto button for your climate control in your car?
Like for the temperature in the car?
Yeah, for like with the heater and stuff. I was driving into work today. I didn't run my car long enough in the morning, so it was super cold. And I looked down and I saw on my climate control knob, there's a button that just said auto. And I've never pushed it before. I was like, well, my car's got to be smarter than I am. It probably knows like the best settings to have to warm up my car. So I hit it and it turned on the fucking air conditioning.
No.
My car was like minus 10 as I was driving into work today. I've got the defrost on and I was like, let's see what auto does. And it took the fan down to halfway and it put the fucking air conditioning on. It was like, good luck.
So is it supposed to sense the environment that
I
it's
have
in?
no idea. I mean, that's what I would have assumed, right? I figured technology going into the cars these days, there's got to be some sort of sensor or something behind this that, I just figured I don't know shit. The car's got to be smarter than me.
Yeah.
And it tried to kill me this
Was it on like menopause mode or something? Or?
It's having a hot flash on the drive to work.
That's a bad joke. I'm sorry.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
AC/DC. I really hope they do a Canadian run just so I can see them at least once in my lifetime. I just want to see Angus Young do a duck walk once.
Just one time live and in person. Seen countless videos, seen numerous pictures.
I've always wondered, do you think he ever like cramps up or has pulled a muscle doing a duck walk?
You know, I have to feel like at some point it's muscle memory, you know? He probably over the years has learned exactly what he needs to do.
Got stretches
to limber up. Like
he probably has someone stretch him out before the shows.
He's got like it's probably similar to when you see like NFL players laying on the field before the game and guys are like stretching their hamstrings out and stuff.
Dude's 69 years old. I wonder if the shorts itself, because they look like weird corduroy, the schoolboy outfit he has. Like,
yeah.
I wonder if they're super stretchy. I wonder how many schoolboy outfits and pairs of shorts he brings on tour.
Oh, I mean, you got to think. He's probably got at least 7, right? One for every day of the week, just in case they have to go through a long run without laundry.
Yeah. Weird thought. Have you ever seen Angus Young with pants on?
No, and I don't think I want to. I think at this point it would be jarring.
I feel like I've only ever seen him in the schoolboy outfit with his little hat and the shorts on.
Wait, I mean, yeah, when he's on stage, it's one look only.
Yeah.
I've seen him do like interviews, not a lot, but every now and again he's always
uniform. In the gear, yeah.
Do you think like does he wake up, get out of bed, and put on a schoolboy uniform? Like, does he have a casual schoolboy uniform?
He's like reverse Randy from Trailer Park Boys. He doesn't wear pants, not even in the winter.
He's always rocking the schoolboy shorts. He's like the guy from Arrested Development. He's a never nude. He's always in the shorts.
They must have like a bus just full of schoolboy outfits and then paperboy hats just for Brian Johnson on top of that.
Do you think that he has brand loyalty? Like, do you think if someone brought, like, I can't find my hat, we'll just go get you a new one. You know, it has to be a Johnson brand hat.
I never thought about the uniforms they have in AC/DC. The schoolboy clothes, the paperboy hat, and then he's always got like a sleeveless button up.
There's a closet on the bus that is just, it's like a superhero's lair.
Yeah.
It's just the costume in various styles, fashions, and sizes, and that's all they ever wear.
I want to see Angus Young in pants now.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You know me. I love technology. I'm a big fan of cell phones. I'm self-admittedly addicted to my own. But yesterday, I had to go sit for just over an hour to get some blood work done for an upcoming medical appointment, and I'm ready to burn every cell phone on Earth.
Why is that?
Dude, I'm sitting there for an hour. 3 separate people took open speakerphone phone calls.
Oh, that's brutal.
On their phone. They're sitting in a medical office. Like, you have the ultimate excuse to tell someone, like, hey, I'll call you back. We don't have to have this conversation.
I don't even like taking phone calls in public, to be honest with you.
Even off the speakerphone. Like,
yeah.
Even just the normal hold the phone.
I feel so awkward doing it.
It's just such a, I don't know, you feel so vulnerable. Even only giving half the conversation to the people around you. Not these people. Didn't care at all. And then one guy just started watching sports videos off of what I assume was YouTube. Just full volume with his speaker sitting about 2 seats behind me. I'm just like, what is happening?
I just feel like it's kind of like the airplane seat thing we were talking about the other day. It's just people thinking that they're the main character and the rest of us are NPCs.
I can do whatever I want because who's going to stop me?
Which, I mean, hey, you have your own free will. Just it is a dick move to just talk on speakerphone. I also feel like I want to know if I'm the other person on the other end of the phone, if I'm on speakerphone or not.
That's true. Yeah, now that I think of it, I don't think any of the people who started these conversations that I heard every word of ever stopped to be like, oh, by the way, you're on speakerphone and there's about 25 other people in the room right now.
That does bug me when you find out and you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll call you back later on then. But it's like, I don't know what the alternative is. Like, obviously, I don't think it's up to me to stand up and turn around and be like, turn your phone off.
No, you just start talking in the background.
Just start making a bunch of weird
just
sounds.
Start going, oh yeah. Start doing that. Make the person on the other end question where they really are.
Make it as awkward as possible. It's like, you decided that we were going to have an awkward battle. Now I'm playing.
Do the things that my friends used to do to me when I first got a cell phone and my mom called me in high school and be like, pass the drugs. Give me the drugs.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I do like the text that we just got in here. He said a guy in the stall next to me was taking a phone call, having a phone conversation. So I just started trying to talk with him.
I think the key to do, if you're both in stalls, and, you know, obviously it's not an on-demand service, but if someone's on a speakerphone call and you're in the toilet, I think you just got to start pushing.
Oh, you start blasting, yeah.
You got to do what you can to make the most uncomfortable noises, if only to let the other person on the other end of the phone know your conversation is happening in a toilet right now.
Public bathroom phone call is weird. If I'm at the urinal and someone's doing it, I'll be like, he's touching his penis. Just start yelling that in the background. He's touching himself.
Just the idea. Like, I mean, I guess it's one thing if you're using like AirPods or you got a Bluetooth of some sort and your hands free.
Yeah.
But the idea of holding your phone to your head while also standing in a urinal is insane.
Yeah.
Like, just forever unclean at that point.
Sure.
We asked you guys the ideas you had to sort of stop people from doing speakerphone phone calls. Someone said, why don't they just jam signals in places like doctor's offices? Like, have it so that, like, your phone just doesn't work while you're in
But
here.
then again, it's a doctor's office, so if something goes wrong...
Oh, I guess so.
Right?
Yeah, I do like the idea of, like, you can't take a phone call in here, but also, this is probably the place where most medical emergencies could happen.
Are you in a doctor's office or like a new Saw movie at that point, right?
You know what would be good? You know how, like, when Jack White does concerts, or a lot of comedians nowadays, you have to seal your phone in those, like, pouches or whatever? Mm-hmm. What about when you go up to the front and you, like, check in, you have to give me your health card and everything? You also have to put your phone in one of those pouches.
That could work, yeah.
That way, if there's an emergency, like, you can access it, but while you're sitting in the waiting room, you can't just be, like, watching loud sports highlights or having phone calls.
I wouldn't mind it if they did that at the gym, because just in general, like, I don't know how many times I've caught my fat ass in someone's video in the background. Like,
dude, I walk around like Bigfoot in so many people's dumb influencer
the gym,
videos.
I wouldn't mind having the little baggy system, yeah.
Especially for the locker room. Like, it's crazy how many gyms I've gone to where there are signs in the dressing room of, like, no phones, no photography. This is a change room. People are naked. Mm. And dudes are just in there taking mirror selfies. Or I saw people doing video calls when I used to go to Good Life. I was like, we're in the change room.
I mean, we're talking about speakerphone in public. FaceTiming in public is so cringe to me.
You have to have something broken inside you. I would say the only excuse for a video call in a public place is if you're at, like, a tourist thing, like you're at the Grand Canyon and grandma couldn't come on the trip and you're like, here it is, grandma, look, there you go, and then hang up. That's it. 5 seconds, tops.
New rule, if you're FaceTiming at the Grand Canyon, I'm allowed to knock your phone out of your hand.
What a video that would be, though. An amazing POV.
There should be like a new bylaw or something that if you're FaceTiming in public in general,
Yeah.
you're like, you have to defend your phone. We're all allowed to knock it out of your hands.
You're fair game. As soon as you go live, or if you're doing a live stream or a FaceTime call, you got to be ready. You got to keep your head up across the blue line.
Keep 2 hands on the phone and head on a swivel, baby.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This might be the best viral video of the year, and it is only January 8th. You know those Waymo self-driving taxis they have down in the States?
Oh, yeah.
Basically, you make the call, the car self-drives to you, takes you where you need to go. A dude posted a video on social media. He had gotten a Waymo taxi to take him to the airport, and when it got all the way there, he is at his destination, he had to call support. And well, I'll just play you some of this phone call here.
Has this been hacked? What's going on? I feel like I'm in the movies.
Hi there, Mike. This is Gab. I'm calling from Waymo
Is he just
Support.
spinning in circles?
Because I received a notification that your car might be experiencing some routing issue.
It's a
I
routing
got a
issue.
flight to catch. Why is this thing going in a circle? I'm getting dizzy.
If you have your app pulled up, I need you to tap Mic in the lower left corner of your app.
Can't you just do it? You should be able to handle it. Take over the car. You don't need my phone.
I don't have an option to
They
control
can't
the
disconnect
car.
it?
Oh,
Apparently not.
Sorry about this.
Well, can you
I'm
stop
pulling
this
the
car?
over. I am trying
My
to pull
goodness.
it over right now. Apologies.
She says she's trying to pull it over.
Get
so
outta here.
I think maybe what it is they don't have access to like his account.
But they can't control the car?
It seems like she's trying to do that. And after the clip, the car did stop. He did manage to get out, get his stuff, and catch his flight. But for a good chunk of time, this man was just in a circle. They had like a roundabout in the parking lot, and he was just going around.
What was the
and
company
around.
called again?
Waymo.
That sounds way more difficult than just taking a taxi to the airport, dude.
We've long said on this show that we don't trust these self-driving cars.
No.
This is maybe the craziest example of like, what happens if he misses his flight?
Well, even just the fact that customer support like can't figure it out right away, like it's not an instant.
There should be a kill switch.
I'd be freaking out in the car, man.
There should be a way to be like, oh, he's in car 4, 5, 6, 7. We push a button. That car comes to a stop immediately.
Yeah.
Get out, get your things. We'll send someone to fix it.
I mean, I guess in the future, you always have to budget that extra 2 hours because you never know if your driverless vehicle is going to drive you in circles.
Well, and that's just it. Is like, hey, at least he was just driving in circles he wasn't going crazy fast. It wasn't doing burnouts or donuts. It's annoying. It's super inconvenient. It's a little scary. But imagine if, like, the car had just started racing down a highway or something like that. Started driving erratically through a parking lot. Like, the idea that these cars could just suddenly go into business for themselves is scary as hell.
The trailer for the new Fast and Furious movie sucks, dude.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
So there's been all this talk about Donald Trump making Canada a U.S. state, blah, blah, blah. We had the statement from Trudeau that we talked about yesterday. And of all people, Elizabeth May decided to chime in on the situation. And here's what she said.
Hey, Donald, have we got a deal for you? You think we want to be the 51st state? Nah, but maybe California would like to be the 11th province. How about it? California? Oregon? Washington?
I don't know if I want any of those.
I mean, if you put Washington, Oregon, California, we would have basically the whole Pacific.
The whole West. But that's all the parts of the world that they say are going to get flooded one day.
That's true.
I don't want any of that.
I mean, I think Washington would be pretty cool. I only really know about Seattle.
I
but-
guess, yeah.
I mean, listen, if we're talking about taking over parts of the United States, first and foremost is Alaska, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
we're already bogarting it with our entire country.
Let's take It's always pissed me off looking at a map in
Right.
general, having
Yeah.
that little divide there.
Let's go ahead and take Alaska, and then instead of worrying about like let's swing down through the Pacific. Let's claim Hawaii so that we can vacation there. That could be a new Canadian vacation destination.
I like that. Take Alaska, take Hawaii. And
Yeah.
you know what? I mean, Canadians are already taking over Florida and Arizona every single winter.
Right.
If we're
yes.
going to take a couple states, we might as well take those ones.
I don't know. Again, it's just having to go through so many American states to get to a point. Florida would basically become the new Alaska. It would be so weird having it separated.
You know what? Screw it. They keep Alaska.
Okay.
We get Florida.
That's the trade.
All of our grandparents are spending so much money there anyways. We're building up that economy. We might as well make it ours.
Does it not make sense that we would take Minnesota, the only state that cares about hockey? Are they not essentially already kind of Canadian?
Yeah, they have the accent and everything, too.
Oh, mix in a little Minnesota accent with some Canadian accents. 3-4 generations from now, that accent's going to be beautiful.
Oh, for sure, bud.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I was reading a story yesterday. Do you know there is allegedly only one DVD rental store left in the United Kingdom?
Oh, okay.
They are the last one standing. They are TVL All-Star Video. But in Canada, there's still these little, like, mom-and-pop DVD stores. Down in the States, there's little pockets of little stores that pop up in
They
different
still have one
neighborhoods.
Blockbuster in the States somewhere.
That's right. And apparently, these DVD stores, because you might drive by and go like, who's still running a DVD rental store in 2025? Apparently, they're doing well.
I feel like that's a front.
Do you think they're money laundering?
It's just like selling drugs or something, man. No, who's renting DVDs anymore?
Well, that's the thing, is there's this interview with the dude in Britain, and there's some like references to some of the other places. Apparently, streaming is easier. We all know that, right? You're in the mood to watch a video, you open up Netflix or Disney or Paramount, whatever you have, and you find something to watch. But these streaming companies, the prices keep going up. The password sharing, they keep cracking down, and they keep taking content that you want to watch off of these channels. Like, I just went to watch Zoolander yesterday on Netflix. It's apparently going away in 2 weeks. Like, we're going to lose the ability to watch Zoolander.
Yeah.
And with DVD stores, they're picking up sort of on the frustrations of consumers who are like, you know what? Fine. We'll just go to the store and rent the DVD.
I will say this. I did love the experience of going to Blockbuster on a Friday night with Mom and just walking around the store, getting to pick a game and a movie. It was the best experience, the smell of Blockbuster.
Oh.
But in the year that's 2025...
Yeah?
And I don't gotta leave my house anymore. I also don't have to pay late fees. I'm okay.
A lot of these places, though, like, the prices are pretty low, and they're giving, like, long-term rentals. Like, you could watch the movie for a week and
Yeah,
stuff
because
like
they're
that.
dying for someone just to rent a video.
Apparently, they're doing really well. I like the mom-and-pop ones, too. Like, a Blockbuster was always a great time. Rogers Video, all that stuff. But I remember in Hay River, we had, what was it called? Video Stop. Big, giant stop sign on the door outside. And you could go in there, and it had the old popcorn machine, like, not fancy. It's been there for about 30 years.
Yeah.
And the number of gumballs I would buy trying to get those, like, rare black gumballs. You ever have one of those where if you got, like, the black gumball, you got a free rental?
Yeah.
Dude, I was swimming in gum that lost its flavor in the first 25 seconds.
Brother, if you need gum, I can go to the dollar store and get you. Dude, if you want to rent videos, I think the only place that still does is like the library. Like, go there then, I guess.
I mean, listen, first of all, I support that. We should all be going to our local libraries. But I don't know, man. There's something cold about just opening Netflix and scrolling for 40 minutes to find something versus when I walked around the video store when I was younger, the walls would just speak to you for what you should watch.
I'll say this. You're the same guy I know that doesn't like going out to dinner because you can skip the dishes, but you want to go just rent a video now.
Well, yeah, I don't have to talk to anybody at the video store.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
There's nothing worse than texting the wrong person, right?
It's definitely got some consequences to it.
A Florida woman was arrested after accidentally texting a police officer instead of her drug dealer. She sent a text looking to purchase some fentanyl before she left town for a little trip.
Jesus.
And then she thought she was texting a drug dealer, but it turned out she texted a narcotics investigator with the sheriff's office.
Dude.
Of course, it is a Florida woman. The investigator began communicating with her and went undercover, setting up the sale, told her to meet him at a gas station, and then when she met there, instead she was met with the authorities.
First of all, I feel like if you're going to commit your order for anything illegal to text, you gotta be real careful about the number you're typing in to send that text message to.
This is why you always got to save a contact, you know?
Like, you can't just be on the fly being like, oh, I think it is 604, whatever. Like, no, unacceptable.
This is a life lesson. Drugs are bad, and also save the numbers in your phone.
That's the takeaway here today.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I think you should text us, baby. 762-555. And if you've got a question for Dalby and me, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, just send a text. Ah, baby, just send a text.
The thing is that for just today only, each text costs $3.99.
Yeah. Tristan said, every time I hear Money City Maniacs by Sloan, I don't hear the Coke Fizz line. I think he's saying goat piss. Which line is my body is covered in Coke Fizz?
So he's hearing my body is covered in goat piss.
He says, that has actually happened to me before. Tristan, you can't leave us with a story like that, not a follow-up.
There are obvious details that we require after you give us that part of the headline.
Do you work on a farm?
Right.
Do you do weird stuff?
Was this business or casual?
Yeah. Business or pleasure? I hope it's not pleasure.
How do you end up in that position?
We might have a confession note on the text line here.
This text here says, if you could get Skip the Dishes or Uber Eats or delivery from anywhere in the world, is there anything that you would order for dinner tonight?
Oh, man, that's a tough one.
I would be curious to get a real Italian pizza from Italy, because my understanding is their idea of pizza and our idea of pizza are not the same. Mm-hmm. Like, they do things very differently, and I would like to see if they're doing it better or if we've taken it and improved on it.
I feel like we haven't. I feel like, in their minds at least, you know? I feel like it's cultural appropriation.
For sure. Oh, absolutely.
I don't know. I don't got a good answer for that. I mean, Taco Bell, I guess. Just go with Old Faithful.
You can get delivery from anywhere in the world, including authentic Mexican food. And your answer is Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's going to be cold by the time it gets to my house from Mexico.
You know what? Fair enough, man.
Someone said, do you think Angus Young wears his schoolboy outfit when he's getting it on? We were talking about the idea that Angus Young, you've never seen him in pants before.
Yeah.
And a few people did Google and send us photos of him wearing pants, and it does look weird. Does he wear the outfit when he's, getting the nookie going? Probably not, but I do think he still wears the hat.
The hat doesn't come off.
The hat does not come off.
The hat stays off under all circumstances.
Yeah.
He wears it to bed, whether he's alone or with somebody else.
Somebody did say, who do you think is the next big rock band that's going to be around for years to come?
I am loath to say that I am out of the loop on new bands right now. I have gotten into, for the last, I would say 4 months, a real fix on, I've been watching old movies. I've been listening to old albums. I don't know what happened, but I feel like I'm stuck in 98 to 2002 in my life right now.
Some bands that you could check out that are really on the rise, tour-wise. There's a band called Spirit Box.
Okay.
They're really big on touring right now, and their performance is apparently incredible. Sleep Token as well. It's another one of those kind of ghost-type band.
I've heard of Sleep
Token. Where they have kind of a gimmick that they have on stage. And then just in general, I think the band Ghost, it's kind of like a Broadway performance. They're getting bigger. They're starting to play actual full-size arenas now and stadiums this year. So.
That's the coolest feeling, man, is when you can see a band in a local club, not even a local band from here, but maybe they're touring and you saw them in a bar or a club or something like that. Even if you're not at the show, getting to see them booking arenas and stuff like that is just such a cool feeling.
Oh, yeah. It's like seeing the Glorious Sons when they first started and then what they do now, right?
Watch them play in a university college clubhouse for 25 people and now seeing them booking shows with the Rolling Stones. blows my mind.
All right, final one here. Someone said, what is the greatest root beer of all time?
Oh, it's got to be Dad's, right?
Dad's?
Dad's root beer is pretty amazing.
I think Dad's is a sweet novelty when you're a kid because you get to drink it from the bottle.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be my first. I think I got to go Barks.
Oh, Barks would be low on my list.
Barks Bites, man.
I'm between Mug and A&W, but I would take both over a Barks.
Oh, really? Mug is trash.
I don't know.
The logo's the coolest part. The logo's the coolest part.
Maybe I go A&W. I still think Dad's, but you're right. Maybe it is just the novelty of it. A&W's been there for me since I was just a cub. You know what I mean? A&W root beer is like the one consistent in my life. It's never changed.
The Papa when you didn't have a Papa. With your Papa Burger. Yeah. It all adds up.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
Let's see what he's got.
Good morning. Today's word is querulous. Yeah, querulous. 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 I guess. Anyways, it's fretful, whining, and complaining. Definitely not the people I like to hang around with. Anyways, have a great one. Cheers, you're up.
That's it.
I love how he says that as though there are people who you know who I like? I like people who whine a lot. That's who I like to keep my company with.
I want to see what the pronunciation it says here.
Querulous.
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 Just seems like an unnecessarily difficult way to call somebody a whiner.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, if you call somebody querulous, the odds are good they're going to misunderstand and think it's a fight.
Well, I was going to say you better pronounce it.
Querulous.
You better pronounce it properly because you might have an HR meeting at work real quick.
You'll get somebody whining and complaining.
I'm honestly scared to say the word and say it wrong.
Querulous.
Querulous.
Like Cuervo. If you think that's what I've been doing the whole time.
Just think of Jose Cuervo.
Think of Cuervo and then querulous.
Querulous.
Although if you added Cuervo and querulous, I would assume that meant somebody who's just smashed. Somebody who's out of their mind.
Querulous, querulous, querulous. Use it wherever you can, but be careful.
Maybe just leave this one be.
Yeah. Maybe not.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast is brought to you by BadShop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.